I was holding the pen when the cup touched my hand. Porcelain, warm. Smile, colder. The room smelled like polish and old money. My name was already embossed on the transfer papers. My son stood behind his wife, proud, nervous, rehearsed. Like, comment, and subscribe Stories for more stories. She leaned in, offered the coffee like an olive branch. Her smile never reached her eyes. Then the maid brushed my elbow. A whisper slid into my ear, thin as a blade. "Don't drink, just trust me." I didn't flinch. I didn't look down. I let the pen hover. I smiled back. Trust, I had learned, was a currency people spent freely until it cost them everything. I remember when I first met her. Bright, grateful, a voice trained to soften rooms. She called me father before she earned it. I welcomed her because I wanted peace, because I believed legacy meant generosity, because my son loved her, and love makes fools of careful men. I built the company from nights that bled into mornings, contracts signed with shaking hands, losses buried with dignity. I taught my son patience, not shortcuts. I thought he understood. I thought she did too. The signs came quietly. A board meeting rescheduled without my consent. Numbers rounded the wrong way. My son repeating phrases that weren't his. Her hand on his arm when he spoke, steering. I noticed the maid first. She stopped meeting my eyes. Then she started. Messages paused mid-sentence when I entered rooms. Doors closed a beat too late. The coffee came every morning whether I asked or not. The evidence arrived folded inside routine. A forwarded email, a legal draft with my signature scanned, not signed. Like, comment, and subscribe Stories for more stories. A clause that shifted control with a medical contingency I never agreed to. They weren't trying to kill me, they were trying to retire me permanently. I felt the ache then, not heartbreak, recognition. I didn't confront them. I sharpened my patience. I called my attorney and spoke about weather. I had auditors review numbers under the guise of tax optimization. I moved assets into blind trusts with my name nowhere near them. I drafted a will that looked generous and behaved like a trap. I promoted silence. I let them believe I was tired. The maid became my mirror. She slipped documents into my briefcase. She told me about pills crushed into cups. Not poison, enough to fog judgment, enough to trigger a diagnosis, enough to justify signatures made in confusion. I told her to do nothing different. I told her to keep serving coffee. Back in the room, the pen still hovered. I watched my daughter-in-law set her cup down close to mine. Too close. I laughed, made a small joke about nerves, and switched them while everyone watched and no one noticed. The maid's eyes flickered. That was all. I signed nothing. 5 minutes passed like a held breath. Her smile cracked first. She blinked too hard. Her words tripped over each other. My son reached for her, confused. She waved him off, then stood too fast. I asked for water, calm, concerned. The doctor was called. Papers were forgotten. At the hospital, tests told stories she couldn't interrupt. At home, my attorney executed documents she didn't know existed. The board convened without her. My son learned the truth from a screen, not my mouth. He saw the clauses, the emails, the contingency built around my incapacity, now nullified by a doctor's report and a time-stamped camera feed of the cup swap. I didn't raise my voice. I let the facts speak in a language she understood. She tried to cry. I handed her a mirror. The confrontation was brief. She sat across from me in my office, the same chair she once admired. I told her the company now belonged to a foundation in my name. My son would run operations with oversight. She would have nothing to do with it. Her lawyer called it cruel. I called it precise. I showed her the clause about marital fraud, the recording of the maid's whisper, the camera above the coffee station she assumed was broken. I slid the cup toward her, empty now. "You smiled," I said. "That was your mistake." She asked me how long I knew. I told her from the moment she stopped calling me father and started calling me sir in emails she thought I'd never read. My son didn't speak to me for weeks. Then he did. He apologized without excuses. He cried without asking for forgiveness. I gave him work. I gave him time. I didn't give him control. Legacy, I learned, isn't about blood, it's about proof. Now I drink my coffee alone. The maid still serves it. She never bumps into me anymore. I think about the pen hovering, the cup warming my hand, the way patience outlasts ambition when ambition forgets to be careful. I didn't destroy her. I let her step exactly where she aimed to push me. Justice doesn't need volume, it needs timing, and I still haven't signed the papers. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe Huna Stories for more stories.